Lisa from Life in Layouts. Thanks for joining me for another process video. Today I am using a scrap lift that I found on Pinterest and this collection called Hello Again, and it's from Carta. These photos that I'm using are from a recent night away that Kevin and I had, and I am trying to decide if I want to use the coral color as my background or the cream color. And then I noticed that the coral color had some discoloration on the edges of it. So another reason why we've got to use our supplies, because this is, I don't know what type of paper this is. I don't think it is basil or anything like that, but it definitely is showing some wear. So I was able to cover much of it up with the cream color, but you do see some of it in the close-ups at the end. So I have these 4x6 photos that I cut down to 4x4, and I actually think they were like the true digital size, so they're 4.5 by 5 or 3 and 5.3 or something like that. So, but I did cut them down to a 4x4 size. There are two pictures, two selfies of us, and then there's two pictures of the view that we had. Just real quick, I got this trimmer as a Christmas gift, so that was my thumbs up. I was so excited. Kevin did a great job with my Christmas present this year, because I have been shamelessly hinting around to that I wanted that for Christmas. These photos are, Kevin travels for work a lot, and travels to different countries as well. And so he was actually flying out to Japan early the following morning that these pictures were taken. And so he suggested, well, why don't we go down and use some of the points that he got from traveling so much and stay at the Ritz Carlton, which is in like the downtown Orlando area. And we would be closer to the airport because his flight left at like 6 a.m. Crazy early flights. So we wouldn't have such a long drive in the morning. And then we could also have the benefits of the Ritz Carlton, because it's a fabulous, gorgeous hotel. So when we get there, and you guys will see this in the smaller pictures that I'm going to put on the right hand side, this room, it was a 1-bedroom, I guess, suite. It had 2 bathrooms. Like, that's how big this hotel room was. The room was gorgeous. It had a chase lounge. It had 2 balconies. The bathroom was probably the size of my scrapbook room. Like, it was huge. And so I wanted to document that these are the kind of the perks of him traveling and being away for sometimes for a couple weeks at a time. We do get to enjoy things like this, where we get to have a night out and see things. And this location was not close to Disney, but close enough that we were able to see the fireworks way out in the distance. And that was just a totally different experience as well, because I have seen Disney fireworks, obviously being a pass holder, from the parks, but I have never seen them from that perspective, and those were gorgeous as well. So what I decided to do was trim up each one of these pages to make it look like the banners go completely across the double page layout, but only using just them on the edge. And once I got them down, I realized that I needed something between some of them just to break up that thick border. So I cut out this pink paper, and then also a yellow paper and a stripe paper to go along with that. And this is one of those collections that's kind of been in my stash for a while. It's definitely not a boy collection. You could use it for boys. It's got some of that navy in it and some oranges and some other colors, but I wanted to use it up in a girly way and pull out my pinks and things like that. So I thought this layout was perfect for it. So here's where I am inking all the edges of this stripe paper. I think this is the last thin paper that I'm going to lay down. Then I get started with this paper here. It's like a green polka dot, and I use my border punch to cut a scalloped border, and I do 4 of them, and I actually cover up both of them on the right hand side almost completely. There's only just a little tiny bit peeking out on the right hand side, but you could definitely see it on the left hand side. And then I'm just adhering my paper down to make sure that it all stays. So I'm going to put these 4 photos, the 2 selfies and the 2 view photos, on this typewriter paper. I like the way that the green and the pink, or really it's like a teal color, and the pink and the yellow poke through my photos, because especially in that lower photo, the one of the pool, all of those colors are there. The blue in the water, and then the sunset reflecting off of the lake that's back there definitely highlights the teals and the pinks and the yellows. So then this is where I'm going to start cutting up the little tiny photos, and I put 4 photos to a 4x6, so that makes the photos a 2x3 size. And I end up putting them on this navy flower paper, and I have 10 little photos, but I really liked that grid style, and I didn't want to add the 10th photo to it because then it would just offset it. So what I ended up doing was adding these 9 photos down, and then I'm going to put the 10th photo, which is the photo of the balcony. So it's kind of outdoors is the reason I chose that photo, whereas these other photos are from the inside of the hotel room. So it feels like it does belong kind of elsewhere. So then I'm going to take the navy paper again, and I'm going to start my title for this. So I'm going to put the navy paper down, and I'm going to use foam adhesive on the back to raise it up, and then I'm going to put this pink paper on top of it to add my title to it. But first I'm going to cut out this 3x4 card that says the things we do together. I'm going to fussy cut that out, and I play around with where I think I'm going to put it. I actually cut it out because I thought I was going to put it in the center of those 4 photos, but I didn't like the way that it looked. It was just too big. So it ends up going on the right hand side over here. So this is where I pull out the little photo of the balcony, and I'm going to add that with some fun foam to the right side of the layout there, and it'll be right next to my title. So I have this roller date stamp. It's not a roller date stamp. I have a roller stamp, and it has all of these fun word sayings on it, like this is awesome, the best, top 10, remember this, can't forget, fun, fun, fun. So I use that stamp to put on that teal paper just to give it a little bit more dimension. So you really can't see it unless you look really close. But I thought that it was just added a little touch to the layout. So then this is where I added that pink paper to put my title on, and I'm going to add some florals because I don't get to add florals a lot to my papers or to my layouts because, you know, I do mostly boys, so I don't know that they would appreciate florals on their layouts. So I'm adding that in the upper left-hand corner in my cluster up there with a little arrow. And then I cut out this tag, it says loving, and add that right to that cluster as well. Then I find this yellow heart that I thought would be perfect for the inside of those 4 photos, just to give it some cohesiveness to bring those 4 photos together. And then I'm going to start with a smaller cluster down here in the bottom right hand corner, and I add this green heart, which comes from, if you see on the bottom of the sticker sheet, there's what looks like people, and what it is the navy paper that's on the far left hand side and right hand side. that are the people connected with the hearts in the center, there's a sticker for that as well. And so they have all of these stickers in different colors. So that works out perfect because it gives you different shades of teals and blues in the hearts that you can use on the layouts. So I added a black sticker that says good time plus good food, and another little heart down there on that cluster, and that finished that cluster for me. Then I use these thickers that they're chipboard thickers, and they have words, very small fine print words on them. And then also, I think I would call it like a sugar coat. It's not really glitter. It's like very chunky glitter maybe, but it just adds a little bit of texture to the title itself, and I really like that. Then I use some fun foam to pop up the things we do, and these word stickers that say love. So my title is going to be Love the Things We Do Together. And I'm going to add just a little floral up there, as well as one more heart to that cluster. Then I found this cut apart, which I thought was perfect because it has the rating at the bottom. So it was a perfect card for me to add my journaling, and then as well put in a rating for this hotel. So I do not like the way this came out. I used my navy pen marker to color in those stars, and after I turned the camera off, I was just really unhappy with it. So in the close-ups, you will actually see I was able to find 5 coral color stars that I put on there, and I love the way that turned out. I think that works so much better than coloring it in with the navy to show that I felt like this hotel was a 5-star rating. So in the bottom, underneath my title, I just add one more bigger floral plus another arrow to link those 2 clusters together, plus one more little heart. And this is where I'm going to add a few more words because I moved that picture around, so it gave me a little bit more space on that teal. So I added a couple more words to that. And now I'm going to add some color shine, the Heidi Swap color shine in peach, and it just gives a little bit of texture to that cream color plus the background paper, and it just kind of ties everything together, and I really like that peach color on this layout. So then I'm going to add this date, and I decided to use, instead of the color that I used for inking all the edges, which is what I usually do for the date, I decided to go ahead and do a navy just so that it would stand out a little bit more. So there you can see the 5 stars in the enamel shapes, as well as all of these little tiny words that I used on that roller stamp. So thanks everyone for coming along on this journey. I am so glad for each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your likes and comments. I really appreciate all of you. If you enjoyed this layout, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that's all I do on this channel. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you have a scrappy day.